Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to Motorsport Manager. We're about to go to our first Grand Prix of our new team, Elysium Racing. Let's not screw up too badly. I'm hoping that we maybe get someone in the top 16. I say top 16. It's more like not the bottom 4, but sure. Let's do this. Right. Select a sponsor. We only have one applicable at the moment. The 13th or above, we get a 200k bonus. Part fitting, we've got no extra parts, so we can ignore this for now. Let's go race. So, in the European Racing Series, unlike, say, the World Championship, Formula 1 in real life, there is no qualifying. You have a practice, and you have a race. There's no qualifying. Which means that your position on the grid is kind of determined, I think it's by inverse driver standing, so that terrible drivers go first and awesome drivers go last, or something like that. The practice session is the only bit we get before the actual race. So we're going to need to try and tune everything up, which means our strategy, our thoughts, our car parts, etc. Now, checking the weather forecast today, looks like it's going to be fine. However, tomorrow we know there's a 4% chance of rain, so got to bear that in mind. Right. Select drivers. So, we can select 2 drivers to go out. We can also send the reserve driver out in the practice. Because it's only a practice, we don't need to send our actual drivers out. Now, a clever idea would be to send out Gomez and Enano and let Faith just call her heels for practice day, because he's got a better feedback score. And feedback will allow you to better learn about the track, better learn how to set up your car, better learn how to approach it, and it allows you to better dial in certain things that need to be changed. However, we also know that Enano is complacent and not actually going to improve very quickly. So, is there really much point in putting Enano out? The feedback would be slightly better, a 9 as opposed to an 8, but you're not going to improve. So my thoughts are, maybe we should just ignore Enano and put Faith out. So Gomez and Faith, car setup. Now, this is going to be the important one. These are our 3 stats. Well, it's kind of a sliding scale for each one. We've got downforce, handling, and speed balance. You can have high or low downforce, understeer or oversteer on handling, and you can have more acceleration or more top speed on your speed balance. If we change the setup, you'll notice that currently their feedback is none. I don't know how to do this. Because they haven't really experienced this track before. So, we're just going to mess up some of these, and then we'll send them out and see what their response is. The idea being that we'll put it to like this, and then when they get the feedback, we can change it and try and get it perfect. Now, you only have a limited amount of practice, so we'll see where we end up. But we also have a very difficult choice today. Tires. Now, it isn't raining at the moment, but it might be tomorrow. What tires do you want to practice on? The tires you practice on will give you more knowledge about certain tires. And we could play into that. So if we practiced on intermediates and everyone else is practicing on non-intermediate tires, we'd be better off. So intermediate tires are your water on track is kind of middling. You notice that there's that little water bar there that says optimal scenario, water on track. That's where the tire is best. So intermediate tires are best when there is a middling amount of water on the track. Wets, obviously, when the track is absolutely soaked. Slicks, softs, that's all for basically very little water. So the difference in these 2 tires is super soft tires. You get a really good speed out of them, but they have low durability. Now the idea here is that they have so much surface contact with the road that they give you extra speed. But the downside is that the tire will basically burn itself off on the road. If you've ever seen, like, you know, any Formula 1 racing, you'll notice that on corners and turns, etc., you'll notice all these big black marks from where their tires have just left these tire prints. And that's it, basically. It's because when you're trying to do aggressive braking, etc., you will rip parts of your tires off and they will burn themselves onto the ground. And so we're going to have to do pit changes to change our tires over. These will last 6 to 8 laps. These ones, a little bit less speed, but they'll last 8 to 10. Now, there are other types of slicks, but this race has said you only get to choose between super soft and soft. Sometimes you get choices like mediums or hards or even ultra softs. For now, we've got these 2. So we could go out on super soft. And that would be the best for our speed in the practice session, but the practice session isn't about speed, it's about learning about the car. We don't care about our speed in the practice session. Or we could go out on softs. This is more about learning our strategy for tomorrow, and I think that we want to try and hedge our bets on it raining. We're going to go out on intermediate tyres despite the fact it's not wet. We're going to try and learn all about water. And hopefully, it'll rain tomorrow. If it doesn't, then we're going to kind of lose that one. We'll stick to you kind of the middle of the... maybe we'll... put you a little bit like that or something. Yeah, let's see what the response is. Tire choice will also put you on intermediates. Actually, no, you're the opposite way around. We need to... yeah, more like that. Right. Confirm. Let's do this. Now, you can simulate the session if you want. We're not going to, because simulate sucks. It really does. Okay. So welcome to the race mode. It's not actually the race, it's the practice, but, you know, it's very, very similar. You notice that we've got lots of things like you've got the current driver standings over here. Oh, I thought I could minimize it. Oh. We've got information about each driver down here. We've got Gomez and Anthony. We've got the time acceleration here. 3D or 2D. We've got the weather forecast, the water on the track. Track grip, which means that, effectively, as you burn more rubber on the track's actually going to get grippier, because your tire is, instead of being on your car, it's now on the road. But hey, extra rubber is always extra rubber, and that will help. Active knowledge. This is the stuff we're unlocking by practicing. We'll come back to that when the race ends. Data center. We can view that if we want. But for now... continue. Right. Gomez, I'm going to send you out immediately with the settings we specified. We're going to send you out on 2-lap. You can send them out on more laps if you want. They'll get more racing done, but they won't get as much chance to tweak the car feedback. More racing means more knowledge, but it also means less chance to tweak based on the balance. So, I'm going to send you out. And we're going to 1x speed. Wait a little bit, and then send Anthony out. Yep, all that seems good. And we should notice that other people from other teams are being sent out in a second. There we go. Number 5, number 1, number 9. We'll go out first, though, which means that we're hopefully going to have a little bit of space. Rather than being bunched up behind other cars. Now, to save us having to watch this all at 1x speed as they go around the lap several times, we're going to go to 3x speed. Oh, yeah! Now, they're on their out lap, which means they've just come out of the pits, and they are preparing to do their proper lap, because they've got to wait until they go past the checkered flag. So, checkered flag is coming up on the straight. Here we go. And they're now on their actual lap. So this is their first lap. We are being overtaken by everyone. We should tow down the aero setup, it's far too high. So that's Gomez telling us that the aero setup is wrong. We need less downforce. That's fine. In fact, I'll say we'll bring you both back in immediately. So this is your in lap. So they're now on their way back into the pits. So they're going to go around and pop into the pits next time they pass. We need to run more angle on the wings, guys. You've got too little downforce. Notice that our knowledge up here is now filling up. Oh, we haven't locked it quite. Okay. So, handling, great. Speed balance, good, but everything else is pretty trashy. Right. You notice that the green bar shrinks slightly as they learn more and more what they want. Speed balance. We know we need to keep the speed roughly around here. Give or take a little bit. Handling is so poor, I think we're going to need to be over here for handling. That has, of course, tweaked the speed. Maybe try and dial that down a little bit. Yeah. Just want to try and move the speed a little bit from good. We'll try and get great or excellent. Downforce, it's too much right now. So we'll move it up to around here. Speed, that's got a little bit too away from us. Right, that seems reasonable. Now, estimated pit stop time, 27 seconds. Because we're adjusting all of these things, it's taking time to adjust them. So we're actually going to take quite a while in the pits here. We could change tyres as well. Sure, we'll try and do another intermediate stint. We'll change the tyres, send you out. As for Faith, poor, great, poor. Okay, so don't adjust the handling that much. Speed will bring down. Downforce, bring down as well. Handling. There we go, try that. And we're going to switch your tyres out as well. Because currently their tyres are very worn through. They've got 1 to 3 laps left in them. Not great. Especially because, you know, there's actually no water on the track right now. So we're going through the tyres pretty quick. So we'll change your tyres out. Almost halfway through practice session. And Anthony is out. And Gomez is out behind. And there we go. We just unlocked race trim level 1. And intermediate tyres level 1 as well. So these will be buffs that we can put on race day so that we've like learned about intermediate tyres. So we've learned about our trim. And if we're running intermediate tyres, we'll get a bonus. Which is why I was practicing on intermediate tyres. I bet everyone else is practicing on, yeah, look, you can see them here, slicks and super softs. Well, soft and super soft, they're both types of slick. We're the only team practicing on intermediates right now. Otherwise known as inters. So these are all types of slick, and this is an inter. Hopefully we can crank our knowledge up to level 2. The issue being, we might run out of time before we do. I was going to say we should bring them in for another adjustment. We're not going to get the time. 2 minutes left. We're going to try and get that knowledge cranked out. Level 2. There we go. Level 2 race trim. Level 2 intermediate tyres. Yeah, they're both saying they like the gear ratios, they like the aero setup. And that is practice over. Just waiting for the other cars to finish. Great, great, great. Excellent, great, and good. Sweet. I think we'll stick with that. I'm very happy with that setup. Okay, so everyone else is practicing on some type of slick tyre, whereas we're down here with our inters. Yeah, we also got the worst time by miles because we were practicing on inters in a not wet environment. We're kind of betting heavily on it being wet tomorrow. Elysium Racing, you need a better drive than Faith Anthony unless you want to come up last all season. I wonder what the issue was for Elysium Racing today. They weren't at the races. Brilliant predecessor. Ah, this is like Twitter. God damn it, Twitter. Right. This is a race day. Race objective, 30 or above for a 200k bonus. Now, the bonus isn't really the thing for us. We're much more relying on words. We're relying on words. We're relying on our upfront payment. Now, later in the seasons, once you get established, once you're especially like getting towards the World Championship, you're kind of reliant on the sponsor stuff. Every race you need to get top or close to hit that extra money. We don't really care about the sponsors as much. We're much more based on our initial upfront payment, because that upfront payment allows us to set up our squad. Now, we can pick our knowledge. There's only 2 knowledges to pick, and we can pick 2, so we're going to pick both. Plus 10% performance increase from our race trim, and plus 10% performance increase when using intermediate tyres. Now, checking the weather forecast, it is going to be raining. And it's going to start raining about lap 2, and the water on the track will build up to inters about lap 3. So, we've got a choice. We can either run intermediate tyres and burn them horribly and do very poorly for the first 3 laps, or we try and do an early pit. So this is all down to your strategy. And it's fairly true for real life, Formula 1, etc. What are we going to do for our pit strategy? Are we going to try and go 18 laps so we could pit, I don't know, once or twice? Or are we going to pit, 3, maybe 4 times if we need to? Since we're betting heavily on the rain, I'm going to say we start off on super soft tyres, because super soft tyres will last like 6 laps, and we change them as soon as the rain starts. We'll change. Everyone else will probably stay on for an extra lap. We'll change early, really early, I mean, and then we'll just try and push it. And we'll try and do a quick pit stop, get out, we'll still be last, but by that point, everyone else will start coming in, and we'll try and overtake them while they're in the pit lane. So we're going to go for car setup, super soft tyres, starting fuel, 8 laps. Do we want to have less fuel? Because with 8 laps on an 18-lap race, we'll need to refuel twice. We could, depending on how long the rain lasts for, we don't know how long the rain's going to last for because we can't really see beyond 3 laps. We really need a forecasting centre back at our HQ. That would help. If the rain lasts until lap 10... we could refuel at 10, we could change tyres at 10, and we could make it to the end of the race with only 2 changes. Like a really, really early change at around lap 3, and then a change at about lap 10. But we don't know how long the rain's going to last. Obviously, if the rain cuts off at about lap 6, we're going to have to come in and change tyres. So, for our setup, we'll start with full fuel tank, because we can start with less, which will mean we'll be faster. The downside is, though, we're going to have to refuel when we hit the pit lane anyway. So I don't know. Is it really worth that? Because it takes a second to refuel each lap worth of fuel, I think, off the top of my head. Each lap of fuel we remove makes us lighter, and so we can go faster. So we can go a quarter second faster. We're going to need to remove way too much fuel. So we'll start with a full fuel. We'll start with slick tyres. That all seems good to me. And we're going to start off out the box with engine mode burning all the fuel. So these are your driving style engine modes. It determines how you really approach driving. This determines your fuel efficiency. If we go overtake, we're constantly revving the engine really hard. We're burning all the fuel, but we'll also get a little bit more performance. Really only designed for overtaking, that's why it's called overtake. Maybe just put it on high. We can always refuel in the pit stop. We've got an early pit stop. We can afford to be a little bit extravagant with our fuel. Driving style merely determines tyre wear. So if we're attacking, we're braking hard, we're accelerating hard, we're braking hard, our tyres are going to wear a lot quicker. We're going to put them on push. Because out of the initial run here, we're going to try and want to get like as fast as we can. And we know we're changing our tyres early, so we can afford to be very harsh on them. So we're going to go for a push of our driving style. Everyone else is going slicks or... yeah, no, everyone's going soft or super soft. Well, it hasn't started raining yet, so that makes sense. That would be silly if they hadn't. Grid position. 12th and 18th. It's inverted, by the way. Champions at position 20, you're starting in 1st. Champions at position 1, you're starting in 20th. That's instead of qualifying. They just invert it so that everyone's kind of got a handicap. Right. Let's do this. Go. Okay, straight out of the box. We're in 12, we're in 12, we're in 12. Come on, Anthony, you can do it. Gomez overtakes to 17th. Anthony pulls to 11th, 10th, 8th, 6th. This is because we're being very harsh on our fuel consumption, but we know we're going for an early pit stop, so... 5th. Dropping now. 7th. Come on. 7th. Gonna get overtaken to 8th. Doesn't matter. We know what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that lovely, lovely rain. Bear in mind that the track grip will drop as soon as it starts raining because that rubber on the track is going to get washed away. Come on. You actually have the fastest Sector 1. Faith Anthony's actually currently got the lap record. Well, not the lap record, sorry. The Sector 1 of the lap record. So that's like the first part along here. It's just been beaten. Okay. Gomez is 17th. Go taken by Dreyfus. Anthony's still 8th. That's fine. Safety car leaving garage. Oh! Dreyfus crashed. Okay. So Dreyfus crashed. This means that the safety cars come out. You see the safety car is leaving garage. That's going to be a car that moves in front of us and limits our speed. You're not allowed to go past the safety car. That means everyone else is going to bunch up behind the safety car. And since everyone's going to be bunching up and being slow, it's a great time to pop into the pit. Now, we could do it with that Anthony. Let her pop into the pit. We could do it with Gomez. We could do it with both. However, unlike, say, the World Championship Series, like that Tier 1 series, etc., like in Formula 1 in real life, we don't have a pit crew for each person. We've got one pit crew that service both of them. So if both of them go into the pit lane at the same time, someone's going to be waiting. That's bad, because we don't want someone waiting in the pit lane. It means the pit is going to take twice as long. So I think that we'll sneak someone in under the safety car and change out for inters, based on the weather forecast. It'll be a little bit early. I'd hope to get one extra lap in. I was planning on changing about lap 3 or 4, not lap 2. But since the safety car's coming out... Sure. I'm going to change you for intermediate tyres. We'll refuel. Park condition. All looking good. Won't do anything about that. Pit strategy. Now, we can choose to be safe, balanced, or fast, each with a corresponding risk. Reduced by the mechanics concentration. Our mechanics aren't great. Safe means, well, there's only a 10% chance of something going wrong. If something goes wrong, it'll add to the time you spend in the pit. Balanced is 20%, fast for us is 34%. We don't need to rush it, because we're going to be in 19th place anyway. 20th is actually crashed, so 19th is last. We'll take safe. We don't need to rush. I don't pit you both at the same time, so no. Just Gomez for now. Oh, we are going so slow, though. Oh, damn, that water's getting very high. Look at that. That's almost wet tyre. No, we'll put them both in for inters. I know it's going to result in them waiting a little while. Park condition, you're all fine. Pit strategy. We could go fast to try and make sure we don't hold up the driver behind. But if we screw that up, we'll be holding up the driver behind for a long time. So we're just going to go safe. 8% chance. Safety car's going to be out for one more lap. So, quick pit. Waiting, 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 waiting. Go. Right, you're in. And we're going to put your strategy on neutral. Actually, conserve the tyres until it gets wet. Conserve the tyres. Don't burn out the tyres just yet. We've got to wait for that water to build up. My god, it's going to be wet. We hadn't planned on wet tyres. The track has dried out, boss. Let's pit for slicks. Ignore. Shut up. It's raining. It's actually going to be wet tyre. No, so we caught up already. I know we dropped a lot of places, but... Safety car. Okay, water. Build up a little bit more. Wait for the safety car to disappear. Go 3 times speed now. I bet a lot of people are going to be pitting on this one for intermediates. We'll have to watch them. Yeah, there's a few people pitting there. Not tons, but enough. Safety car's heading to the garage. We're going to crank up to neutral now on our tyres. Safety car is headed for the garage. Oh, it's going to be waterlogged. We're going to have to go to wet tyres. We're going to need to pit again. Was it here? No, it was the next turn. Next turn that Dreyfus went out. Dreyfus went out here. Oh my god, yeah, you can see his car. Safety car's heading to the garage. Safety car's gone. Right, let's take this advantage. Everyone else is going in. Right. We're going to push our tyres. Yeah. Can you attack a bit more? Sure, go for it. So, my tyres... I need to get my tyres up to temperature. They're graining. Here's a little bar. Next to the tyre durability, which is at 90% currently, we have this, which is our tyre temperature. Tyres heat up at different air temperatures. Softer tyres will heat up at lower air temperatures than harder compounds. We need to attack more to get the tyres hotter. If the tyres are cold, they're not going to be as efficient. If the tyres are too hot, they're not going to have much of a gain, and you're going to be wearing them out unnecessarily. Notice that Tang here has now got wets on, so people are starting to use wet tyres. Ignore, ignore. We're going to take advantage of this pit stop, actually, that people are doing. We're going to push for high. We're now in first and third because everyone else pitted. They should have pit under the safety car early. So our strategy is paying off currently. We're going to try and make some distance. The issue is, everyone else has currently got wet tyres, apart from a few. We're going to need to pit for wet tyres, and that's really going to cut our lead. Really going to cut our lead. I say we pit Gomez this lap, and we pit Anthony the next. So pit for wet tyres. Might as well refuel. Pit strategy. Now here's the difference. If we go balanced, we'll be 4th. If we go safe, we'll be 5th. We're going to risk a balanced. And we're going to go attack and overtake, because we know we're going to be refueling and retiring. Oh, that was the wrong person. Whoops. Cummins actually got into first by going in the pit lane. Temporarily. We'll come out on neutrals. Okay, go quick, go quick, go quick. No issues thus far. Good. So we didn't have a screw up. Right, go, 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 go. Anthony, when you're done, we're going to pit you for wet tyres as well. Yeah, it looks like the track's going to be soaked. That's our strategy a little bit thrown out the window. If we go fast, we've got a chance of being in 3rd. Ooh. We'll risk it. Exhibition's going to be 6th. Oh, Exposition 10th. Behind this group here. That's not good. Still got some people on Inters who are going to be dropping out. Okay, when you come out of that lane, go back to a more modest car usage. Okay, here we go. Don't screw up. Good. We're out. Notice the person behind us did pit. And they're still in the pit. We're out in 6th. Very nice. Now, bear in mind, like I said, we shouldn't be doing particularly well. Because we are a new team on the block. We've got a terrible chassis. Our parts are bog standard, like, we should be doing terribly. But we're now in 7th and 12th. Okay, that's dropping a little bit. Look how much water's on the track. If we're drying out in a few laps' time, we could switch back to Inters or something. But actually, I think it might be worthwhile not switching to Inters. We're going to hold out. We're going to switch to probably mediums, if mediums can last until the end of the race. If we can get to lap 10 on wet tyres, it's going to hurt us. If we can get to lap 10, we only have to do one change. If we change before lap 10, we're not going to have fuel. We've only got 8 laps of fuel in the tank. We should be fine. We're going to push our tyres a bit now, knowing what we're going to be doing for changeovers. Yeah, someone's pitted already for softs. And Chu's gone for Inters. Interesting choice. I'd say soft is definitely the better choice in this one. Anthony, I want you to pit. And I want you to pit for... Softs of only a 7 to 9. Ooh. We could pit for super softs and do a double. Yeah, we'll pit you for super softs and we'll do a double. If we refuel to that much... Yeah, that seems good to me. The reason we're only refueling that much is because we're going to have to pit stop anyway, so we might as well pit stop and pick up a bit of extra fuel. We'll do a balance. Right, let's do this. Mistake! No! Added 2 and a bit seconds. Added 4 and a bit... 4.5 seconds extra. Not good. This will come out in 13th. Right, Gomez. We'll want you to pit this time. And we're going to go for softs. Now, notice that Gomez can actually make soft last 8 to 10 rather than 7 to 9. That's because he's got some stats that make him slightly easier on the tyres. He's better at conserving them. So Gomez can make these tyres last until the end of the race. The question is, can we make that fuel last until the end of the race? Probably. 7 laps after fuel. 7.8, yeah. Part condition, parts are fine. Pit strategy. We'll go with safe pit strategy. I need to pit for intermediates. No, you don't. A lot of people are pitting right now. Exited in 12th. We only dropped 2 positions. It's not too bad. Radio message. This is getting scary. I have warnings about a few parts now. Okay, so Anthony's telling us that, parts are getting a little bit damaged. We could go in and get that changed. But we're going to try and hold out, because we are running the soft attack strategy, which means that we're going to have to change her over in a couple of laps anyway. So let's just push the car a little bit harder, and we'll have a look at the parts when we bring her in. Let's pit for inters. No. Be quiet. The drivers have no idea about tyres. You just ignore them when they suggest tyres. They have no idea about looking to the future. And he's not doing too badly. Yeah, choose running inters, no one else is, so it's going to be interesting. 5 laps remaining. Can you take a look at the gearbox? No, I'm not taking a look at the gearbox. If I pit you, we're going to lose everything. We're going to risk keeping you out. If I pit you again, that's another few seconds that we cannot afford. Anthony, you're doing really well. We want to keep you out for one more lap before pitting you. Yeah, you should be a little bit easier on the tyres. Your tyre heat's getting a little bit too much. But we will kick up your fuel because you've got excess fuel. Anthony, we'll pit you. We'll pit you for new Super Softs fuel. Right. Do we need to repair any of this? Engine at 22, gearbox at 20. Notice if we do fix these, 18 seconds to replace a gearbox. 19 seconds to replace an engine. I mean, you know, that's replacing a gearbox and engine. That's fast. Don't get me wrong. But it's also not fast enough for the race. We're gonna risk keeping you out. This might well result in your car dying. Fast, we've got a chance of coming out 2 positions up. We'll do it. Come on, don't screw up. Yes! That was a good one. Right, give me a more neutral approach. You still got excess fuel, so you should keep burning it. A couple of parts are looking a bit rough. Yeah, have fun. 13% on the engine. 2 laps, you can do it. The cars are falling apart. Shush. Everything's fine. We've got Gomez in 7th. We've got Anthony in 12th. Both of those are enough for our sponsor to be very happy. Just don't break. Just don't break. Just don't break. No! Faith Anthony's retired, mechanical issues. Look at that. Ah. Gomez, your only hope. Low fuel. Okay. Be a bit more conservative on the fuel. Conservative on the tyres as well. You got this. Another person retired, mechanical issues. Gomez, you just need to not... Oh, the problem is I think we might run out of fuel. I think I ran you too hard on the fuel. We're running conservative on the fuel, but even then, we're going to run out of fuel. Low fuel, and we are out of fuel. The car's going to coast now. We're in 9th. Down to 10th. But that's still enough. We ran out of fuel in the final lap, but we still did it. That was close. That race was messy. Our strategy for inters went out the window. We had to go wets. We did well for that medium part when we went to wets early, but that was a messy, messy one. Oh, dear God. Look at everyone else who was like, we're going to go wet straight away. We put our bets on the intermediates, and while we excelled for this small intermediate period, that extra pit stop cost us. But hey, you know, at least we managed to finish the race with one of our cars, and in 10th. That's in the top half. Considering that we're a new team, etc., look, we're not going to be doing first and second. I am very pleased with that result. Hey, Faith actually ended up 17th, despite the fact she actually had to retire, so I'm pleased. I mean, actually, like 5 people. 1, 2, 6 people. Wait, 7 people? 7 people didn't make it to the finish there. Damn. Now, the GMA is going to check our cars, see if we've got any rule violations. We don't have any, because we haven't made any new parts that might violate the rules, but they're going to check anyway. And we made our bonus. Drivers' Championship, Andre is 10th, Faith is 17th. And we're now up to 8th in the Team Championship standings, which was what we told the chairman we'd do. We said 8th or above. So, chairman's happy so far. Why did Elysium Racing cross the road to get to the middle? That's just unfair. Elysium Racing found themselves in the midfield. They'll be hoping for more in the future. Yeah, in the far future. I'm happy in the midfield for now. Don't worry. God damn it, Twitter. You're mean. Cruel. I didn't ask for this. And 20% morale change and a 7.72. Very nice. You're actually getting worse because you aren't practicing. We'll have to fire you at some stage. You are 6% happier with me. Great. No marketability change. Mechanic relationship improving. We're firing your mechanic soon anyway, so. And we lose just under a mil. That's actually good. If we keep losing just under a mil, we're going to have 10 mil left at the end of the season. If we don't build parts. We're going to build parts. That's going to be a lot of money. That's going to be the other 10 mil. Right. That's the World Championship event that went on. That's the Asian Pacific Super Cup. And this is our one. This is the European Racing Series. Very nice. Okay. I'm relatively pleased with how that went. Even though Faith didn't actually finish the race. She still came 17th, which is, you know, there are worse things. If we pitted her, though, she'd have come like 13th or something since so many people didn't finish. Probably should have pitted her. I was playing a little bit harsh. But I wasn't to know that so many people would go out in the last couple of laps. For now, though, I've been EnterElysium. We are going to end this episode here. We'll come back next time with our new approach. We'll hire some new staff. And we'll have our next race in 24 days at the Munich Grand Prix. Until then, though, like, subscribe, and let me know what you're thinking about the game currently down below. But until next time, stay shiny.